Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer and coach from Live, Love, Give, and today I'm bringing you a message. Oh my gosh, I'm back on my favorite topic again in terms of relationship, but I'm finding this a really valuable topic right now. And those of you who know me well enough by now know that I have been in search of discovering kind of what the new evolution of relationship is. And, in my journey, knowing full well that what I've experienced in the past is not what I ever want to go back to. I want to evolve to a new level of relationship. And also not having that experience of what's possible kind of makes me think into this stuff quite a lot. And I really do use the vehicle of relationship as my greatest vehicle for growth and progression. And so that's why I'm always talking about it and always diving deep into it, because I know that when we master this area of our lives, we can ultimately master our entire lives. There is no more difficult area to master than your intimate relationships and creating true fulfillment, where you don't just have the honeymoon period and then it's kind of downhill, but actually something extraordinary keeps growing and deepening and going to higher and higher heights. And that is why I spend so much time talking into this topic with you guys. But I actually kind of have a funny topic that I wanted to present to you guys today, which is, again, it might be a little bit controversial to some, but it's ultimately to actually use your attraction to others to help to grow and enhance your relationship with your partner. And it might seem kind of weird to kind of think about that, because initially we might be like, okay, well, having that attraction or that energy going towards other people outside of my relationship, how is that going to help me? How is that going to help us grow? Isn't that just going to get in the way? Isn't that going to diminish our connection? Isn't that just going to create jealousy and pain and fighting and just kind of ruin it for everybody? And that's why I wanted to deliver this message, because I have a bit of a different take on it. And this message is really going to resonate with you if you are somebody who is absolutely committed to your growth and your progression. And it's not going to resonate with you guys out there who want to go for comfort, certainty, and just hold on to what you know. And at the end of the day, I hope by now, if you've been following my messages, you absolutely know that certainty is a complete fallacy, and you're never going to, sustain the same, for the rest of your life. It's got to grow. It's got to change. It's going to change. It's inevitably going to change. So you might as well get intentional about how you want things to change, so that change can be for the better and it can be to progress. So why I wanted to talk about utilizing our attraction to other people to help to enhance your relationship with your partner. And I'm kind of talking about, I guess, I was going to say monogamous relationships, but I guess it would work with any relationship. If it's an open relationship or not. My experience is monogamous relationships, so that's all I can really talk into. But what I would say is, with this concept, we are human beings who are, just because we're in a relationship doesn't mean that we're not going to find other human beings attractive in some way, shape or form. And how we can utilize that inevitability in our intimate relationships and help to enhance it, rather than get scared and frightened and be like, oh my God, I've just thought this other person was attractive, or I've kind of been flirting with that person, or my partner thinks that other person is attractive. Oh my God, what does this mean about me? Instead, the next evolution of our relationships is to actually be able to communicate about what we found in that other person to be attractive. What is the trait? What is the thing that they are representing that we're kind of drawn to? And instead of being threatened by that, actually be able to look at and go, okay, identify the trait, not the comparison of the person to person, but the actual trait that you are attracted to in that other person. And ultimately, what we get attracted to is something that tends to be kind of missing. So if we can identify through our attraction to other people what that trait is, or those different traits are, that we're kind of being drawn, our energy is being drawn towards this person. And if we can identify what that is and then have a healthy conversation, which isn't a comparison or a judgment or a criticism between two different people, but actually it's an honest conversation about, wow, like, okay, I guess my energy kind of went in this direction because this person brought this trait into my life in some regard. And I'll give you some examples in a second. And then what that can do, if you're in a growth-minded relationship where you guys are certain within yourself, you have strength and confidence within yourselves, and you believe and trust in the connection and the depth and the strength of what you're co-creating with this other person, because you're so honest about this sort of stuff, right? And you have that growth mindset, and you're willing to take responsibility, and you're willing to not let your fears and insecurities get in the way of your growth, then you can have a conversation like this. And it's not going to be easy. It's definitely going to be difficult. But if your focus is on growing yourself and growing the connection and the relationship, instead of being threatened by inevitable things that are going to happen along the journey, and allow that to kind of tear you apart, then you're absolutely going to value having this kind of conversation, where, say for instance, I'm in relationship with somebody and I meet somebody and I kind of get like this kind of attraction to that person in whatever way. Like it might just be, wow, like this person is really interesting in this regard, and I identify what that is, and then I bring that quality to my relationship and go, like I was really drawn to this quality in this person, this trait, because we are all things. Every single human being has all traits. It's not about they're different to you and you can't be them, or whatever that conversation is going to be. It's really identifying what is that trait. So say that person, wow, like I really liked how they were, they were really intentional about their life. Like they seem like they've got this real clear vision of what they want to create, and they feel like they're really bringing some ambition behind that vision, right? And then I might be able to identify that with my partner, and say, this is what kind of drew me in that direction. And then if my partner is solid enough within themselves and within our connection to not be threatened or thrown off by it, and instead use it for growth, then they might go, oh, okay, like how have I been showing up in that way? Like, have I been showing up with clearer vision? Could it be an area where I could kind of step up a little bit and maybe have a bit more self-belief and ambition in this area, or whatever it is? It's just simply a way for us to be able to leverage the inevitability of our attraction to other human beings, and instead of it kind of staying in this fantasy like this person's got this and my partner doesn't, it becomes a conversation about identifying the traits that we all have access to that maybe we could be stepping a bit more into. And I know that has got to be like probably one of the most challenging conversations any of us could have, because it might reinforce to us our deepest fear that we're not good enough as we are. But the fact of the matter is, when you can create enough safety and connection and depth and trust and openness and communication with another human being, that kind of conversation becomes one that absolutely enhances your connection and the evolution of your relationship, rather than one that just creates jealousy, distrust, worry, fear, anxiety, insecurity, limitation, restriction, all of that negative stuff that, I don't know if you're like me, but that is not part of my vision for a relationship. I would much rather stay out of relationship if it's going to be one in which we're bringing each other down in terms of our fears and insecurities and judgment, and feeling like we have to hold things back and not be open and transparent. So me just sharing this, I hope, is a value to you, and I hope that it kind of just gets you thinking about maybe a new evolution that you could be bringing into your current relationship. Or if you're currently single, I would really focus on building yourself up to a point where you feel like you could be strong enough to have this kind of conversation with your ideal partner who is in your future somewhere, you know, and get this clarity, you know. For me personally, I just think how extraordinary would it be to be in relationship with somebody that you could be that honest with and trust each other so much that you could even bring up things that you can be attracted to in another that your partner might not be maybe they're stepping down a little bit in that area, and give them a pathway of growth and not take it personally, but actually see how it enhances our relationship and be open to, you know, what your partner might find attractive in somebody else, and see how you could utilize that for your own personal growth and development as kind of like a mirror about how you're stepping up or stepping down in different regards and what feels right to you, and how you may just take this new angle of growth from this perspective. So, okay. Oh my gosh, I hope that this is of value to you guys. I hope how I've explained it makes sense. All this sort of stuff that I talk into is just the goings on of my mind and my life and the next level of progression for me. And this is just one of them. So I oftentimes have these conversations with you guys as a kind of first point of call, and I'm always kind of talking it out and thinking it out. So I really hope that it's of value, and I'd absolutely love to hear from you guys. You know, what is your perspective on this topic? Do you have any experience with this? Do you have any words of wisdom that you'd love to share? Or do you just want to say hi? Because I absolutely love when you guys connect. But let me check in and see who's been able to join me. I've got Randy and Gregory and Ram and Lily and Noma and Maggie and Agoro and Parveen and Kadri and Jody and Sparky. Hello to you, my friend. And Vanessa's here. Awesome. And Harris. And John's here, and Judy, and I'm loving that you're agreeing here, Harris, that's awesome. And Richard, have a good day to you as well, my friend. And Satish, alongside physical attractions, we need to exhibit our deeper love and concerns in our relationships. Great point, Satish. And I probably should have said this. I didn't just mean, physical attraction, because to me, okay, yes, we can be physically attracted to other people, but at the end of the day, there's a lot more going on in our attraction than just physical attraction. And, personally, in my regard, like, I think the way that I look at attraction is generally we're very attracted to the value we feel that person could bring into our lives. It might be physical, it might be mental, it might be emotional, or it might be spiritual. There's different areas and ways that people can bring value to us. But that's what we can definitely identify what can be attractive. It doesn't have to be a physical thing. I look at attraction on a way grander scale than physical attraction, and in those different areas of life. And so I hope that definitely resonates, because it's a way a person shows up, the different traits that they engage in, the different things that they do, the lifestyle that they live, whatever it is, how they treat people. There's all these different things that are at play that we can be like, whoa, that's really cool, or I really appreciate that or admire that in another person. It might not be that you're attracted in the realm of being sexually attracted to them. It might just be that you really admire something in somebody, and you're like, wow, like I really admire that trait in that person. Let me have a conversation with my partner about that, because it might be an area of growth. Because at the end of the day, we always go toward where our needs are being met in some regard. And if your needs are all being met by your partner, like you're less likely to kind of notice what's going on in other people's worlds in that regard. And when you do, like, utilize it instead of a bad thing, utilize it as a way of just kind of getting some clarity about what you would kind of maybe like a little bit more of in your relationship. And knowing that we're all human beings who have access to the full scale of human emotion, human traits, way of being, mindset, all that sort of stuff, we can... it's not that we're trying to change another person. It's just that we're bringing to the attention, something that might be interesting or might be of value to us. So I love that, Satish. Thank you. And Richard, I love that you're still working on yourself. I can never stop that. So I love that you're all about that. And Andy's here, and Kadri, what a great topic. I'm loving that this is resonating with you. And Vanessa, so good. Thank you. You're so welcome, Vanessa. I love that this resonated with you too. And Natalie and Bradley and Terry, thanks for bringing your magic to sunny Spain. I always love that. And thanks for bringing sunny Spain to us. I love it, Terry. And Michael, can this attraction you are talking about be found in friends, example, male friends, or talking about an attraction in the opposite sex? Yeah, Michael, absolutely. It's not just limited to the opposite sex, you know. Absolutely. I believe that it's like, you know, those people in the world, maybe they are people that we follow in the world, the work of, maybe they are people that we just meet, you know, maybe they're friends, maybe they're family members, whatever it is. The more that we can identify what we really admire in other people, it not only gives us a pathway forward in terms of our own growth and development and what we find meaningful and valuable, but also particularly in our intimate relationship, whatever we can be like drawn to in another human being, the same sex or different sex, it doesn't really matter. It might be a really great way of growing your connection with your partner, you know, giving them kind of a map to like what you like really admire in other human beings as well, you know. It's just, yeah, you can look at it both ways, but absolutely not limited. I think that it can go the whole scale, a concept like this. So I so appreciate your question, Michael, and hope that was of value. And Emma's here, and Vanessa, it's taken me years to get this. I'm in a long-term relationship, and finally all the insecurities and jealous had been left behind. Oh, I love hearing that, Vanessa, because, you know, jealousy is such a curse, you know. It's so, you know, in an extraordinary quality of relationship, there's no room for selfishness in that regard. Like tends to be, we're just thinking about ourselves. We're not thinking about what's good for another human being. We're making something mean something about us because we're not looking after our relationship with ourselves. And that's why I like the mindset of open relationships with their word, which is not even in the dictionary, I found out in a funny, weird way. That's a whole nother story. But the word compersion, which means, you know, the joy one feels and experiences from watching somebody that they love experience joy, you know, and that is such a lost concept. And that is, compersion is the opposite to jealousy. You know, jealousy is like hating the fact that somebody else is getting joy outside of with you, you know, and that is so selfish and limiting to the people that we love. So absolutely, Vanessa, I'm so grateful to hear your journey, and we're human beings as well. So of course we all experience jealousy. I'm not thinking that I'm at all some angel or all of us are angels or anything, but I so love that you shared that, Vanessa. Awesome. And Sashin, hello to you. I'm doing really well and hope you are as well. And Mohammed and Ariel, you are great. Thanks for advice. I practice in my relationship with my co-workers and family. You're awesome. Ariel, you are so kind, my friend. I so appreciate your kind words, and I love that you're an action taker and you're practicing this already in your relationship. So cool. And Peter, what threatens you, Vanessa? Great question. What threatens me? What threatens me? Really put me on the spot here, Peter. I would say that I guess my relationship with like the whole concept of being threatened by anything, I've gotten to a point in my life, and I know I've got so far to go, but I've gotten to a point in my life where any challenge, no matter what you want to term it, whether it's threat or I don't know, jealousy or hurt or whatever the negative emotion is that we can experience, any challenge I've developed this kind of relationship with that I'm not sure I can like think off the top of my head like what threatens me. I guess I don't like when and I've had this experience recently. I guess I don't like putting myself in situations where I feel judged based on my appearance straight away. And that happens to me a lot because I am, you know, as you guys know, I'm totally into my hair and my makeup and my beauty. It's a high value of mine. And I tend to get hit with judgment based on that before people know who I am. So that, I guess, isn't great. It's like people's, particularly when people are judgmental of you, and you can sense it, but they're actually not telling you that. Like they're being so sweet and nice to your face, but then you can feel the hostility and you can feel the lack of authenticity. And for me, I don't like that. That's probably the thing that I like the least in this world, is a lack of authenticity. Because for me, it's just like, why are we wasting our time on this? Like, why do we have to go through this? And it really threatens the potentiality of any relationship, no matter if it's intimate, friendship, family relationship, whatever, business relationship, whatever it is. When there's that sense and that energy of a lack of authenticity, it kills the trust and the potential, because you're always going to have that question mark inside. So I don't know if that really answered your question at all there, Peter, but I really always appreciate your questions, particularly when they're challenging. So I don't know, but I hope it was of value. I went off on a bit of a tangent there. But Agnes is here, and Mark and John, hello to you, my friend, and Vicky, hello, and Josie and Tanya's here, and Ashley, great to see you, and Dawn, yay, and Sahil, hello to you, my friend, and Esther, hello, and John, hello, and Kadri. Being honest is one of the most important things in the relationship for me. It allows to feel free to be myself. Abso-freaking-lutely. And I so love that about you, Kadri. I know you're such a beautiful, genuine soul, and I just love getting to spend some time with you in our masterclasses and our group coaching. And yeah, me too. Like, I've absolutely reached this point in my life where, you know, my past self used to bring everybody in. Like, everybody's welcome. Like, let's get all together, right? Bring everybody into my inner circle. But now, like, based on the experiences that I've had and the growth that I've had, I am so selective in my relationships, and this is the key point. Your ability to be openly, courageously, and vulnerably authentic, because that determines the level of depth that we can go. And I ain't interested in anything surface level. I want to feel exactly what you're saying, Kadri, like being totally free to be all of me. And that means I want to know all about you. Like, I want you to go to the depths. And if you can't go to the depths, we're going to stay on this surface level holding back. And that, to me, is just a complete waste of my time and your time. And what the hell are we doing? So I love that. Yes, honesty, openness, and it takes a level of confidence in the self and courage to actually be able to hear and hold space for people to open up and be truly authentic in all of who they are, without you making it about you, taking things personally, getting hurt, being overly sensitive and selfish at the end of the day. So I love that, Kadri, and I completely agree. And Randy, it's really funny where I live, because the soundtrack and the video is off a bit. Oh, so luckily I'm listening and not trying to watch. Vanessa, I'll watch it on the replay and maybe it will be more in sync. I love that, Randy. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Like, I think it happened to my video yesterday or a couple of days ago as well. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe my internet connection. So it might be me. But I love that you're going to catch the recording, Randy. Hope it's of value. And Suzanne's here, and Helg, and Dawn, yay, and Jen's here. Great to see you. And Craig and Dawn came on late. I will watch the replay. Love your never-ending empowerment. Oh, I love that, beautiful Dawn. Can't wait to hear from you. Hope it's of value. And your Baze is here. And Jen, keep being your authentic self. You got it, my friend. And that's it. You know, I'm sure you guys have heard me say a million times by now to use your authenticity as your greatest filter. You know, if people can't handle the truth of who you are, like, why do you want them there? You know, so definitely keep being your authentic self. Greatest filter you could ever hope to have in your life. And Gael's here. Awesome. And Sahil, namaste, Vanessa. Good morning. Can you please suggest if anyone is suffering from incongruence in heart and mind like me, your light would be a blessing for us. So much love for you, Sahil. You have just inspired me to do something that I actually did promise to do for you guys, I think a couple of weeks ago. And it's been on a list that I've been wanting to do, which I was kind of thinking, you know, I'll probably get done. You guys know I'm off to Europe on Tuesday. So I'm kind of like so busy and definitely trying to get all my clients in and doing so much right now, but I have got a really powerful tool that will help you exactly with what you're talking about. It is something that I developed myself, and I call it a congruence meditation. Any of you guys who've been in my 8-week empowerment program, you already know this tool, but I hadn't at the time developed an actual meditation for you guys to really go through yourself. I just kind of told you the process and to do it with your own music. So I had been meaning to create this meditation for you guys and give you this tool, which I think came from week 6, I think it is, of the 8-week empowerment program. So you've just inspired me, Sahil, asking me a question like that to develop this for you and get it out to you guys ASAP. So watch this space. I'm going to do that for you, and I so appreciate you asking me that question, because it is so important to get the heart and the mind in sync so that we can absolutely be congruent with who we are and make our best decisions. So I'm going to get that tool written up for you and recorded for you. Like I said, watch your space. I'll get it done. You've inspired me and might have just moved me up the list there. And Jeannie's here, and Dawn, love is freedom, fear is restrictive. Having more courage and discovering your true self is so liberating. Just keep focusing and loving myself. I love that. Beautiful. So perfectly put. And Ann Kit's here, and Matthew, and Sahil. It looks a bit difficult to operate from that zone. Mind analyzes and heart has no mind. Yeah, that's why we kind of want that congruence, you know. We want to take the wisdom of the heart and the wisdom of the mind, which are, you know, they're different. They're different ways of looking at things. I like to kind of think about it as like the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and getting that in sync, because that's how we get congruent and stop tripping ourselves up. So hope that this tool that I will share with you in the coming days will be valuable to you, Sahil. And Bassam and Patrick, hope you guys catch a recording and get a ton of value from today's message, because I've got to sign off. I'm actually running late and I have got to run out the door. Oh my gosh, going to be late. All right, so as always, guys, I'm sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I hope it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary. I hope today's message has served you like always. That's my hope. And I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Thanks to everybody who was able to join me. Much love.